Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're gonna continue working on part 2 of this luxury apartment. Let's get started. So in this video, we're gonna start by adding walls. So we're gonna add exterior wall. So here, I'm gonna click wall under architecture. I'm just gonna click save, and then now I have a basic wall here, 200 millimeters in thickness. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on edit so that we could duplicate this. In newer Revit, uh, what you can see is you don't have generic anymore. So what you can do is pick an exterior wall similar to this, and from here you can click edit, duplicate, and then let's put this one as exterior. So let's put it as capital, exterior wall number 1. After that, click on edit, and then from here we will be able to delete the materials that it's already preloaded here. So what you have is core boundary on the exterior side and then on the interior side, which is right here. In here, we could just change the thickness to 200, and then the materials, let's change it to something white, which is a gypsum wallboard. So I'm gonna click a gypsum wallboard. You can double click that and it will be right here on the materials, and then we could click OK and then OK again, and then now we could zoom in, and then here you could change the height. So you would like to connect it to a top layer or top level, and what we're gonna choose is level 2 because we're starting at level 1. So from here you could be able to change it right here at the top constraint or right here. So it was unconnected earlier, we can now change it to this or here. Let's put this one wall center line, or you could choose whatever you want here. You could even choose finish exterior wall, or for me, I like it wall center line because I want it to be in the midpoint of my grid line. And then chain is already checked. This is very important. And then now we'll be able to click right here. So first, we're gonna click on B2. So here we're gonna start in B2. So click it there, and then all the way to B15. Go down up to G15, which is right here, and then go back again to G2. From G2, I want you to type in 3150. So we're gonna over here 3150, and then we're going to click on B, press escape and escape. Here we could just click here, and then we could just drag the wall to connect. Or what you could do is you could type in TR. This is under modify, It's basically this icon, the trim and extend to corner. So if you type TR, you can just click here and there, and it will join both together. Also, if you notice, we only have the grid bubbles on one side. What you can do is you can click here and then you can click on the check mark here or the square, and you'll be able to have bubbles here as well. If you select this, it won't appear the check mark. So it's basically for individual. It's good, especially when I'm coordinating with you guys, so that you will see which of the grid line I'm clicking. So there is good. And then right here as well, I'm going to zoom in a little bit and just click on the grid line. So once we finish here, let's continue adding interior walls. So again, let's go back to architecture and then click wall again. And then here, what we could do is click on edit type and then duplicate this again. And then now we need to call this one interior wall number 1. Press OK and then edit type. Let's maintain the thickness of 200. And then for the material, let's change this one to something white as well. And I'll choose plastic for now, but you could choose whatever white you will have here. Then press OK and then OK. Here, let's start off by adding the corridor. I like to add the corridor first so that I know the separation um, of the units. And here, I have the corridor from D to E. So it's safe to say that I could click on D3 all the way to the 14, going back here and like that. So a big rectangle, but don't you worry, we're still going to move this back and forth later on. I just like to add this one so that we could add in the separation walls. So once that's final, we will be able to move this one back and forth. So now I'm gonna add a wall from D4 up to B4. Okay, and then I will add again on 6, so grid line 6. So that's good. I will add again at from 4 again, from E4 up to G4. And then here again, number 6, E6 to G6. again right here at 11 and 12. This is for the stairs. So I'm going to add right here E11 to G11 and then E12 to G12. Here we're going to add more here, so don't worry. So now we're gonna fix the location right here. So we set it up from grid line 3. Now we're just gonna move it 1350 from this side. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move it like that, and then I'm gonna measure it from here with a temporary dimension. What I can do is I could click here now 1350. So it needs to be 1350 from this grid line, as you can see right there. Again, right here on the 14, we're also going to push this on the left side now about 1500. So let's push this one right here, and then let's grab this temporary dimension, and then now we could just click here 1500. So now we're good here. Now for this part, we're gonna open this up. So now I'm gonna type in SL. So SL is under modify, it's the split element. So I'm gonna click right here in the middle, press escape twice, and then TR, that's trim and extend to corner. So now I'm gonna select one side off wall and the other side adjacent to that. Here as well, I'm gonna click here and then click here, it will cut that one. So now this will be an open area and will be the lobby. And then now what I'm gonna do is press escape multiple times and then SL again. This will be click on the middle again, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna type in TR, trim and extend, and then trim and extend. So now what we have is something like this, which is an open area, but we're gonna close it immediately. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select the exterior wall and I'm gonna type in CS. So that's create similar. So this is very useful because we already have the wall exterior wall number 1 already added on the space. So it's easier for me to just select that and then CS, and now we'll be able to add it immediately. And then rather than going back to architecture and then clicking on walls, and once we have multiple different kinds of walls, it's going to be a lot harder to look into that. Where is it? And then you keep on selecting here and scrolling down and forth. So it's easier to just select the wall that you want to add, the kind of wall, CS, and then there we go. We can now select here and then click right here at H4. Once you click on H4, I just want you to add 1000 more. So that's fine. Now click on the other side, which is the grid line 6, and just close it off like that. So we just added 1000 millimeters from the grid line H. So next thing we're going to focus on is in this area, because what I'm going to do is we will have a big 2 bedroom or 3 bedroom right here, and this will be mirrored to each other. So once we create here, we will be able to just mirror, and then we will have the same one on the other side. We're gonna start by clicking on interior wall and then typing CS, that's create similar. We're going to get the midpoint from here, from the corridor, and then just extending this to this wall. So once we have that, what I'm gonna do first is press escape and then escape. We're going to move this wall so that we'll be able to add in doors right here. So in order to do that is we're gonna delete this wall first, and then this wall, probably we could just move this one back. And then let's focus on this spot now. I'm gonna do everything on this area, and then we could just do the mirroring later on. But I wanted to do this because at least it's the same figure now at this one. That's why I just move it there. And then now we could focus on here. We could then now extend this around 400. Okay, undo that. Move this one. This one needs to be 400 from here. So I'm just going to move it like that. And then as you can see here, we have 1805. So if we added 400, we could just add 2205. So now it added on both sides. Now we could just create another, add on another 400. So that will be 2605. So that's perfect. If we check, that's around 400. So that's perfect. Click on the interior wall again. And then now we could connect this one onto this side. So now this wall is connected. We could then add a wall. So it's easier to add a wall and then offset it from there. So here I'm gonna add a wall, and then I'm gonna click this wall, and it's easier for me to move this one and create a temporary dimension. So I'm gonna click here, and then I'm gonna type in 1523. So that's perfect. I'm gonna add in another wall, CS. I'm gonna add a wall right here, and then one more, or later on we could add it again. So we have 1522, and then click here again. It will be 1481, and then let's add in another one. So CS, that's 1036 or 10, yeah, 1036. So as you can see, I just added 1523, that's 1481, and then last we have 1036. So I just added those so that we could prepare to add more and keep on connecting them. So after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this all the way to right here. It will be 1744 from this wall, because this wall right now will be close. So I'm going to extend it so we will have a room right here, and then now this wall will be 744 from this wall. So let's check. So it's 827. So I could just pull this back 720, 727, so 744. So now we have that. It moved, and then we're going to add in a 45 degree. So CS again, 45. So just go 135, and that will be the 45 degree. I'm just going to touch up to the grid line right here, and then go down again. And then as you can see, we could now trim and extend right here to connect. Here, we could just drag this one all the way to this grid line. And in terms of here, we need to add a wall. So let's click on wall or CS the wall. And this will be around 1700. And then now let's click on this and then extend this. So we can extend actually this to another 1000. So you can select here and then click and type in just 3 here. So just to add 1000 more. And then from there, click on that CS and then create a 45 degree. So it's around 800. Go down. And then from here, we're going to add in a wall from G all the way right here. And it's just going to be in the midpoint right here. And then we could add a wall right here. And that wall will be, let's move this one onto this grid line. And that will be 2145. And then here, we could just move this one a bit. And then move this one up like that. So what I notice is the interior wall, we need to change it to actually the thickness of 100. So I'm gonna edit this and then just change this to 100 thickness. And we need to apply that on all throughout. So now the only fix that you need to do is onto this corner. What you need to do is just click on that wall, drag it back so that it's not connecting this one as well. Drag it back like that. So at the moment, that's the only one that is interfering. So what I usually do is I unjoin them. I type in AL, that's under modify, that's align. So AL, I usually align it from the face and then to the face of the wall. Align here and to the face. Now it safely say that you can just connect it like that. So that's the only difference that I want you guys to do again, because I noticed that the walls are very thick and I forgot to tell you guys to change it to 200. So that's a good example of organizing uh, any system walls that you have, so that if you need to change one, it will change on all of them. So now here, I need this height to be around 2493. And then now, this one, we just need to select here, CS, and then connect it like that. And then now we could just pull this one back. So it's just gonna be a closet space right here. So now right here on the other side, I'm gonna select here, CS. I'm gonna add a wall first. And then from that wall, I'm gonna select that. It will give me a temporary dimension. And from there, I could type in the exact amount that I want. So 3673. From there, CS, select that, CS, and then now we could just connect them all together. You can trim it, or you just need to drag it to extend. So now we could add in another wall right here. So that wall would be from the entrance. So select interior wall again, CS, and then here I'm just going to add a wall with a dimension of 1329. And then after that, a 45-degree angle, and that will be, so the angle is 135, and that's a 45-degree, and then the distance is 1422. And then now just connect it. So we have this layout now. So on the next video, we're gonna continue working on this. I know it's a lot, but it's definitely worth it, especially that we already added walls, and we could basically just mirror it later on. So thank you for watching, and I hope you liked the video. Please hit like and subscribe. Feel free to comment down below.